Today I'm going to show you how I prefer to do partition of the hard drive uh, to install Puppy Linux. Uh, this method will work with a legacy BIOS only. Right now I have a Xenialpup started obviously on 32-bit, but it's all up, it's loaded up in RAM, so I can do whatever I want to the hard drive itself. So let's go ahead and open up the gparted, and we'll go down the system and then go gparted partition manager, and then this is the internal hard drive, uh, and we'll go ahead and OK it. So here is gparted, and what I'll do is I'll just demonstrate it by erasing everything. So right now it's using the swap partition, so we'll go ahead and oh no, it's not using it. So we can actually go ahead and wipe out the whole table. So we're going to wipe out the whole hard drive. So obviously before you do this, you need to back up whatever the file that you will need later on. So this is a point of no return in a sense. So we'll go ahead and start, and then you want to MS-DOS as a table type. Again, this is non-UEFI machine, so you need to change the BIOS to legacy BIOS if you want to do this method. So we'll go ahead and apply. So you obviously you just wipe it all out. So I have a roughly 120 gig SSD here, and what I prefer to do is load up about 3 different Puppy Linux on this system. And also that would allow me to boot whichever one I prefer, and I'll just show you how that's done. So we'll go ahead and put in a new partition. So we'll just make this about 4 gig, because that's really plenty for loading up 3 different Puppy Linux. So we'll go ahead and label this as pups, and we'll go ahead and 4 gig, and then primary partition is fine. We'll just go ahead and add it. And at this juncture, what I recommend and what I do is make a separate partition for save folders. So I'll have to deal with 3 different Puppy Linux with save folders, so they'll all be put in this next partition, and we'll go ahead and reserve that about 20 gigs. So we'll go ahead and label that. This here is capital SAV. This is sort of my routine. That's what steps that I follow, and then ext4 again is fine. So here is where I'm going to put in all the save folders. Next is what I prefer to do is to put in all the miscellaneous files, music files or data files and so on. Again, this just to start 3 different Puppy Linux. So this is going to be the data storage, and we'll go ahead and just make this new, and then this has a 4 gig of memory. So Puppy, yeah, I think that if you're not going to do any video editing, you probably don't need anything more than 2 gig of swap. But we'll go ahead and give this about almost 6 or 7, and then we'll make this ext4 again, and I'll like to make this a small letter store. This becomes later on important to be able to direct the Puppy Linux to exactly which labeled partition you want the save files to go, and this is not the store. It's going to be on over here, capital SAV label. So we'll just go ahead and make that, and obviously this last is going to be a swap file, but I usually like to put it in extended because later on you don't know whether you may want to separate out further partition here. So we'll go ahead and make this extended, and we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll also do a new here, and then we'll make this a swap partition. So Linux swap. And then so now we'll go ahead and apply all the partition or protocol here. So, and next step, don't forget to do this. Next step, you want to be able to get this as a bootable. So you right click the first partition where we want to put in several Linux kernels and so on. So we'll go ahead and right click, and then we'll go manage flags and boot. So it's amazing in a sense that I think the puppylinux is the only system where you can actually boot into Xenialpup in this case and put it all on the RAM, so you can actually partition and destroy, initially destroy the and then subsequently partition the hard drive that you will be using after this is all done. The next step is to go ahead and obtain, download, and get the ISO puppylinux ISO files, and I put them in the USB ISOs here on the home folder. Just ignore this file here. That's a screensaver, screen recording that's ongoing here. So first thing we want to do is we want to put these important files into SDA1, so we get a choice of 3 different puppylinux system to boot into. So way that's done is you have to go ahead and way I like to do it is just go ahead and make a folder. It's mkdir, and you can go ahead and put Fossapup 64 and Xenialpup 32 and Slacko 32 in my case, and I'll just go ahead and so that forms a folder to put the kernels and important files. So let's go ahead and take the Fossapup first. We'll go ahead and click on the ISO file, and we'll go ahead and open it up. What you really need, this is only for frugal install to the hard drive. You actually just need all the FS files, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 in this case, and we'll copy them into the Fossapup 64 copy. We'll just copy them all. So it'll take up a couple of seconds. And then what you need is 2 more files. One is the kernel, which is vmlins, and you also need the other file, init rd. So we'll go ahead and put that in again into the Fossapup, and those are the only files you need to be able to boot into Fossapup 64. So we're finished with that part. And then now we'll do the same to Xenialpup. So we'll go ahead and open the Xenialpup. This is 32-bit. Again, grab all the SFS 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go ahead and copy them into XP, and then copy. Okay, and then you need again vlins and init rd, and we'll go ahead and put that in there. Okay, so that's done. So that's all the files Xenialpup needs to be able to boot into that. So we'll go to Slacko next, and we'll go ahead and open up this. Exactly the same. Grab all the SFS files, and then put them in there, and then we'll go vmlins and initRD and put them in there. Okay. So now next step is to be able to install grub for DOS. So grub for DOS right here. That's actually under system. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we wanna be just mainly concerned with SDA. This is just the a USB. Let me just unmount it just for clarification. We'll just take it out. And I just put that in there just so copy the puppy ISO files. So we'll go ahead and unplug. So we want to go ahead and search only in this device for the puppy Linux operating systems to be able to boot into three separate. So search only within this device here, and we'll give it an OK. So it's found three different puppy. So Xenialpup, Fossapup, Slacko, and the media is TAHD. That's fine. Everything else stays fine. The window gets inserted here, but we'll go ahead and delete it. I don't have windows at all, so we'll go ahead and OK it. And then you can see in this there is a menu list that's been inserted. This determines which, so we can actually take a look at inside menu list. So we'll go ahead and we can make change the font a little bit, so we'll make it easier for us to see. And then we'll and then the line wrapping. So we can take a look at this, and timeout is 10 seconds, which is really too long to be able to choose which version you want to boot into. So we'll just make that 4. This is what I do. So okay, so and then Windows, I don't have Windows, so we'll just go ahead and delete that part. Okay, and then you can save it at this point. But what we can do at this point is to be able to tell the puppy next time when I boot is to where to save the save folder. So I can cheat here, and because I know how I partition and labeled each partition, I know this is label is capital SAV. Oh, we'll continue on with the editing of the menu list, this file here. This is a little parameter we need to insert to be able to tell each of the 3 operating system where to look for a save, where to place and look for save folders. So this SAV is the partition label, and within a partition label we're gonna make a folder SAV. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. We'll go ahead and get into the terminal here and SDA. So we can make dir capital S small and small SAV. So exit here, and we'll go ahead and put in the SAV the save folder here. So but we need to insert this parameter in the menu list. So we'll go ahead and copy that, and we'll go to a menu list. Again, this is this file here, and each of the file right after the P subdirectory we want to insert here p save equals capital SAV, and then so this is letting the Xenialpup to place the save folder here or look for the save folder in this particular folder. So we'll go ahead and do that for each. That's the Xenialpup, and we'll do that again for Fossapup and puppy Slacko. So we'll go ahead and do that right there. And there should be a space before, and should be a space. Okay, so and then we deleted the windows, and we can go ahead and save that. So that's been saved. Okay. So we can actually go ahead and reboot, but to make things much easier for me is that I already have a save folder from on this machine from before. So what I can do is go ahead and find that save folder from before. So this is from the USB drive, external drive. So what I can do is just simply go ahead and drag Fossapup 64 save into this here. Okay. So again, it doesn't have any save folder, but we've just modified menu list to see if there's any to look here to see if there is any old save folder, and then I'll just drag this here and then we'll copy it. So it may take a while because it's fairly hefty size, but the other Xenialpup and Slacko we will not do that. Now we're going to just record with a handheld phone here. So at this point, what we want to do is just go ahead and log out, reboot, and then we don't want to save anything. Say no in this screen. And now my setup is actually actually from the laptop that's connected to the external monitor. So we'll go to the my laptop here, and we want to boot into Fossapup. So we should get a menu here. Okay, so we're getting the menu. So we'll go to Xenialpup is the first, Fossapup, Slacko, and advanced menu. So what we want to do is boot into the Fossapup, and we're going to enter. And then if the save folder has been properly loaded up, we should have the laptop screen turn off automatically when the external screen turns on. So we'll see here. Okay, so it's still there is an arrow now. It's screen is coming up. It is turned off, and now we're getting the proper configured my daily use Fossapup. So this actually concludes the partitioning of the hard drive and the booting into the save folder. So if you, I think that this should end the video for today. And if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section for the next project of YouTube video. Thanks.